Hi, guys. So I've been thinking a bit about journalism in South Africa and the dissemination of information, right? So we used to previously get our information via traditional sources such as print media, such as television, such as radio. But now with the internet and with social media, a lot of the information we consume is on the net, right? Mostly via social media. And we have the privilege of being able to interact with those sources of information and form our own opinions in terms of commenting on that information and interacting with each other. So a lot of us get a lot of clarity in terms of the information that is shared from the comments that are put underneath that post, for example, on social media, or that video on social media. So it gives us an opportunity to get closer to how accurate that piece of information is, and if it's not accurate, what is the actual truth behind it, right? So I think that is a big win in as far as social media is concerned. The dissemination of information is a big one. So that has allowed for more sources of information to come forth. You've got this small little social media publications that put information forward. Unfortunately, in the country right now, we're very much interested, or we're easily distracted by pop culture and entertainment. So a lot of those sources, that is the kind of information they push in terms of what this celebrity sangoma or this person is doing with their lives, and not as much about the key issues that we should be entertaining in the country, especially with the state of the country right now. But it's a good start, right? Having more sources of information than the ones we're traditionally used to is a good start. It gets us somewhere. And the barriers to entry in terms of what might be considered as journalism right now are very, very low. That is a problem in itself, because you do get a lot of misinformation, or people that are rage baiting, because that kind of content gets a lot of engagement, and then they're able to get paid from the engagement stats. I think that's the one negative about that element of having multiple information sources with a very low barrier to entry. But it does provide an opportunity for those who want to share accurate information that is very constructive and is going to move us forward as a country, right? Because these social media platforms give us something important, and gives us audience, and show you how easy, like how really easy it is. And Canva is 110 Rand a month subscription, right? So, I mean, these things are, they're not difficult to do. Let's create information sources, as many information sources as we can, right? And in a small way, as much as for you it's something fun that you're doing, the more of these that are become mainstream, let me put it that way, the more it shapes our society. And I think it will shape our society for the better. And it, like I said, it doesn't even have to be anything extremely serious. Even lifestyle, like I said, food and lifestyle, fashion and lifestyle, hair care. We only see these lace front wigs on Instagram. And I think there's a few creators that have come up with, content around taking care of your natural hair as it comes out of your head, because we have this perception that our hair, as it comes out of our head, is unkept and we're not beautiful unless we've got, something on top, glued on top of it, which I mean, I'm all for autonomy and doing what you want to do to make you feel yourself feel beautiful. But some of these things, they do have an impact on how we view ourselves identity wise, and down the line how we progress as a society. So yeah, I think that's my parting point of creating information sources, blogs, magazines and just social media, informative social media pages. And just, you'll never know. Some of them will, like I said, some of them will be very successful, some of them not so much. But the more sources of information we've got that are constructive, I think the better it is, you know. And in the era of content creation, that could give birth to other opportunities down the line. You never know. If you exercise, I feel like if you exercise your creativity muscles, you never know what's going to come out. You will build up skills that will lead you to building up businesses that may very well be successful. So, yeah, I think if you're inclined in that way to, you like to share information about anything, create an information source, put it out there. Somebody will consume it. It will add value to somebody's lives. I think let's create create diversity around the information sources that are available for us to consume information. This is one area, guys like to say, open up the industry. This is one area where you don't need anybody to open the door for you. You could just create one for yourself and see where it takes you. And yeah, I think in a few years' time, we'll see our societies shaping in a different way than what they're currently shaping now, when we're consuming information that we don't even understand, right? Like there are, trends that are coming out of other areas in the world that we don't understand, and we adopt those trends. Somebody was talking about the male loneliness epidemic. We don't have that here, right? Well, there are no signs that it's as pronounced as it is, say, in the US, for example. But we adopt those things because those people have created those information sources, and they back them so much that we don't have enough of our information sources to compare with. For example, the incel culture, for example, we are lucky in a way because that sort of culture, we only mainly see it on social media. But if you go to the ground, um, people are relating in very different ways than what is projected on social media, right? The what do you call it, transactional relationship culture as well, it's not as pronounced and on the ground. If Sipho is a petrol attendant and Ntabiseng is studying nursing, and Ntabiseng likes Sipho, it's going to happen. They're going to date and they might even get married. It's not as pronounced where Ntabiseng will say, oh, Sipho doesn't have a Mercedes Benz and I don't want anybody with a Mercedes Benz. There's a very small, I think, sample of people that have that mindset, right? And they are more an exception than the norm, I think. But social media makes it look like they are the norm because of the information sources that we are consuming. Rather than creating our own, that create a more realistic view about what's happening in life, and that will lead to more constructive trends that will shape our society in a better way. So I'd say consider it, whatever you feel like you can share with the world, create an information source and just start sharing. And I think that would be your own little contribution to the world, and you'll be very surprised of how impactful that could be.